Specifically today, I would like to ask you about your position on the impeachment of the Vice President and the President.
Specifically about the impeachment of the Vice President and the President.
Yes.
I supported, and before we can get to impeachment, I want to have some additional evidence, and I supported the contempt citations against Josh Bolton, Harriet Myers, and I think Alberto Gonzalez, all of whom have refused to testify in front of the Congress. Impeachment is a drastic act, and I don't want to abuse it as I felt was abused against Bill Clinton. That this is really serious business, and I'm a lawyer, and I want to make sure I have the facts and the evidence before I bring any kind of charges against anybody, even if I think they've done something wrong. I better have a legitimate, valid basis. We've not been given the evidence, or we haven't even had the testimony from people. They've refused to testify before the Congress. We have brought contempt citations against them, and will continue to proceed with those contempt citations, because not only have they not come before, sometimes people will come before the Congress and they will interpose lawyer-client privilege or something else. These guys have completely refused to come before the Congress and have not treated the Congress as an co-equal branch of government. That's where I am. I'm still on the contempt citation.
Okay. So here is a document prepared by the Institute for Public Integrity. This outlines 935 lies that the President, the Vice President, and the Cabinet told in the lead up to the war. This war has resulted in more deaths than Saddam Hussein exacted on his own people's mouth. This is evidence of crime, and Congress is empowered to police the executive. I would suggest that you remit yourself to Washington. Immediately sign on with Congressman Wexler, Dennis Kucinich, and others, because there's ample evidence that impeachable crimes have been committed. Further,
Just so you know, I voted to have Kucinich's motion brought to whichever the committee is, Judiciary Committee, so that evidence could be obtained to determine whether we could press on with an impeachment. Again, I want to make sure that we do this right, and it isn't some, gee, we think this, we think that we actually have the evidence to convict. Okay, that's where I come from. So I supported sending it to Judiciary to elicit the facts.
Right.
And that's what I will always do. I don't do stuff, just because somebody, I don't even know who these guys are, and I'm happy to read this. The Center for Public Integrity. Who is that?
Well, this has been in the headline news for over a month.
My question was, who is that?
They're a group of people who monitor and watch the media and the government.
Okay.
But I would say to you something. When a police officer charged with the duty.
I gotta say.
May I finish?
No,
May I finish?
No, because I want to say something.
I see. I'm not allowed to finish?
No, because I have something I want to say about. You talked about the 935 lives. And you're a member of the Green Party.
That's right.
I just want to say that the Green Party, in my opinion, has a lot to do with the war.
We're not talking about the Green Party. We're talking about the crimes of this administration, and a crime that you could very well be considered complicit in if you don't do your duty. Now, police officers do not have the choice on to arrest when they see probable cause. They do not decide, well, maybe the jury will not convict later. Likewise, emergency responders do not see an injured person and say, well, I'm not going to treat this person because they might die later. You have a duty to act, sir. You have a duty to act.
The duty to act is the duty to elicit the evidence to convict of impeachment. This is not fun and games, buddy Moore.
No, it is not fun
This is real.
and games. That's right, and you have a duty to act.
And we sent it to the committee we have asked for testimony, and we moved.
An answer that's on the
that is part of the congressional oversight responsibility to get the evidence before you bring impeachment charges and probably the most drastic action that a Congress can take, period.
We're talking about thousands of lives that have been lost.
Yeah, and now we can go back to the Green Party and its complicity in those thousands of lives being lost.
Sir, the Green Party has nobody in national office. The Democrats and the Republicans do. You are the ones who will be held accountable for this. And I would like to enlist.
The blood is on the hands of those in 2000 that did not support Al Gore and went and allowed George Bush to then proceed down this path.
That is duplicity to say something like that, Mr. Pearlmutter. I would have to say.
That is not duplicity.
We really need to move on
Okay,
with the next person.
and I shall, but I would like to advise you that these issues are not going to go away. I will raise a conversation in this campaign to include this. If you don't step forward now, you're going to be seen as being complicitous. This administration and these crimes.
It starts with the contempt citation, which I voted for and believe that we
You can
need
do
to get
much more.
contempt.
You can do much more. And when I see you standing with Wexler and Mr. Kucinich, then I will believe you. At this time, sir, you don't have very much credibility.
Thanks for coming out. Have a nice day.